Well, if you tell a joke and if she laughs, then you know she knows. And if she doesn't laugh and speaks English, then she doesn't like your sense of humor, so you got to move on anyways. You got to figure out what the women are actually looking for in their life. And it's important to ask those kind of questions and have them actually ask you questions too. You know, you shouldn't be doing all the talking thing, and that's what typically a lot of guys do. They do about 80–90% of the talking. The women need to be asking you questions and earning your attention at the table also, even though you shouldn't be just like focusing on one and giving one all their attention. She should be earning your attention by asking you questions, because then she's invested in making this relationship go forward, just like you've already made a big investment just by coming here. So they need to put a little effort into it too, and that shows if they're really truly interested in you or not. Always leave all the women better off than you found them. This general rule. Greet them all. You know, don't ignore any of them. You don't have to focus on one, but don't ignore them. Make them all feel, you know, good when you're at the table. And one reason is because when you leave, they're going to talk about you. And even if it might even be a different table, a girl might have a friend at the other table and she's going to ask what they think. And so you want all the women to have a good impression of you when you leave that table. Make sure you know what some of your priorities are as far as questioning. You know, if you don't want children, that's probably one of the biggest questions to ask. And you don't want to say, I want children to you. You don't want to do a leading question. You want to find out what they really want, if they want children or not. Typically, if a woman already has children, then she's more open to not having more children. But one thing I've learned, typically women at some point in their life always want children if they say they don't, if they've never had any, so you got to be careful of that. I had a client I went and visited in Colorado that met through us and married, and I was there, and she did not want to have children. And then I had my 2-year-old daughter, and I was playing with her, bouncing her up. They were divorced less than a year later over that, because the motherly instincts kicked in. So those are really important questions. You know, this is a big city, you know, probably bigger than almost any city in America. So if you live in a small town, you want to ask, you know, those kind of questions, you know, what kind of city do you want to live in? Because that's, you know, I live in Phoenix, you know, which they consider a city in, you know, the United States, but the people here would consider that a village. It wouldn't be considered a city in their eyes. Yeah. So it's a big change. So you want to see what they want, what they expect in their life.
If they are having a language problem, an English problem, then how is that handled in this? I mean, I'll be honest, one of my reasons to make conversation at the table is I'd like to know the woman's level of English, as opposed to saying, what is your level of English?
Well, if she's asking you questions.
Well, yes, of course, but if she is not?
Well, if you tell a joke and if she laughs, then you know she knows. And if she doesn't laugh and speaks English, then she doesn't like your sense of humor, so you got to move on anyways. You know, and kind of speaking of that, you know, this is dating. It should be fun, so be a little more relaxed. Don't be too serious. You know, life's hard already, so don't be too serious. You know, another question too I like is asking the woman about what her passions are. And knowing what, you know, if she has something that she's really interested in doing is really important, because if not, life is going to get really boring.
Are you ready to get started? Sign up and connect with these real women.
Check out our website at
mymailorderbride.com.